For the first time on screen, we see Dooku transition from Jedi Knight to Sith Lord, and learn the identity of the prequel trilogy victim who permanently binds him to the dark side. But why? Why did Dooku, who was once the apprentice of Yoda, fall under the influence of the dark side? We will try to answer that question and many more in this video. While Emperor Sheev Palpatine remains one of Star Wars' most evil villains, the galaxy was already corrupted and evil, allowing Palpatine to thrive. Many works in the Star Wars universe depict Emperor Palpatine's manipulation of the Senate for his own gain. However, Star Wars, Tales of the Jedi reveals that the Senate's corruption predates Palpatine's ascension to power. But now that Dooku has joined the dark side, things will get interesting. The Senate's corruption was especially problematic for the Jedi because the Jedi Order had become so inextricably linked with the Senate, both in the Jedi Council's directives and in the minds of the majority of the galaxy's citizens. As a result, many Jedi who rallied against corrupt senators found little support from the Jedi Order, even when the senators' actions were immoral and harmed their people. Star Wars, Tales of the Jedi, follows Dooku's transformation from Jedi to Sith as he reacts to this corruption. According to the series, Dooku was motivated by a desire to help the people of the galaxy, but his methods eventually became even more evil than the corruption he sought to combat as he succumbed to the dark side. Dooku's episodes in Star Wars, Tales of the Jedi's first season show the corruption of many senators and many Jedi's unease with the Jedi Order's ties to the Senate. Dooku and his Padawan Qui-Gon Jinn investigate the kidnapping of Senator Dagonet's son in Episode 2, Justice, and discover an entire village behind the abduction. Dooku and Qui-Gon quickly realize that Dagonet has been exploiting his people and the resources of his planet for personal gain. Dagonet's son, despite being imprisoned, opposes his father. Dooku, a man of formidable power, exemplified by his Sith name Tyrannus, was a highly skilled lightsaber duelist even in his old age. During his Jedi career, he was regarded as one of the Order's finest swordsmen, with Yoda as his only superior and Mace Windu as his only equal. Dooku could easily defeat Obi-Wan Kenobi and Anakin Skywalker one after the other on Geonosis before fighting Yoda himself. Dooku was able to fight Yoda but chose to flee when he could not defeat his former master. In his way, Dooku wants to make things right but finds himself walking the path he once despised. Justice, the second episode, appears to end on a positive note, with Dagonet's soldiers assisting in the town's reconstruction, but Star Wars, Tales of the Jedi's third episode, Choices, demonstrates that the Senate's corruption was not limited to just one planet. Dooku and Mace Windu travel to Raxus Secundus to retrieve Master Katri's body. While they have Senator Lyric's testimony explaining Katri's death, Dooku notices numerous inconsistencies and remains determined to investigate Katri's death thoroughly. From here on out, you can see the character development when he starts to rebel against the corrupt senators, and that's where his downfall starts. Dooku's investigation reveals that Lyric's bodyguards are actually members of the Raxus Secundus rebellion. Lyric, like Dagonet before him, was abusing his position as senator for personal gain at the expense of his constituents. The Raxus Secundus rebellion wanted to use Lyric as a pawn to push their agenda, but they had no qualms about assassinating him once he revealed the truth. Their actions mirror Dooku's later use of any means necessary to combat the corruption he sees in the galaxy and the Senate, ultimately leading to his demise. Furthermore, despite pushing for the investigation, Dooku still sympathizes with the rebels on Raxus Secundus because their ideals reflect Dooku's growing dissatisfaction with the Senate's corruption and the Jedi Order. Dooku's disillusion grows when he is chastised for discovering the truth, despite his investigation resulting in Lyric's death. The Jedi Council, on the other hand, promotes Mace, whom Dooku believes is more concerned with following the rules than with seeking the truth. Raxus Secundus becomes the Separatist capital after Dooku leaves the Jedi Order and forms the Separatist movement, indicating that their rebellion was a watershed moment in Dooku's fall. Dooku was always keen to discover the truth about what was corrupting the Senate. You can see people on the internet actually sympathizing with Dooku for the kind of character he had. While the previous episodes, Justice and Choices, depict how Senate corruption led to Dooku's conversion to the dark side, Episode 4, The Sith Lord, shows Dooku's final fall. By this point, Dooku has already been recruited by Palpatine and has participated in both the murder of Sifo Dyas and the formation of the clone army. However, Dooku's certainty wanes after Qui-Gon's death. He is shown as a person who doesn't abandon his principles even though he slowly becomes his worst nightmare. That's actually the thing about rebellion. Only some people think you're right, and some people help you fight. Because ultimately, rebellion causes destruction and pain, which can be seen as something people will not forgive for any time soon. Even though Dooku has already abandoned his original ideals, Yaddle still offers him redemption. She tries to persuade him to return to the light, even claiming to have resigned from the council due to her dissatisfaction with the council's actions. However, Palpatine's power is too great, and Dooku eventually kills Yaddle on Palpatine's orders. Dooku kills a chance for redemption in the process, cementing his rise as a Sith Lord. While it is not explicitly stated in the episode, previous books have established this as a time after Dooku had already left the Jedi, but was still friendly with the Order. Whether that timeline has now changed, or Dooku is simply returning to his old haunts, we see him deleting Kamino from the Jedi archives, an act that plays a significant role in Attack of the Clones. The real shocker, however, is saved for last. Dooku sets out to meet Lord Sidious but is pursued by Jedi Master Yaddle, who served on the Jedi Council in The Phantom Menace and is voiced here by Bryce Dallas Howard. Yaddle confronts them. And like Palpatine tricking Anakin into chopping off Mace Windu's arm en route to becoming Darth Vader in Revenge of the Sith, Dooku is pressured by his new master to kill his former friend and colleague, cementing his turn to the dark side. The episodes bring back Count Dooku and Corey Burton, who voiced the character on the Clone Wars. Burton talked to EW's Star Wars podcast, Dagobah Dispatch, about reprising his role as Dooku and what it was like to play a younger, less menacing version of the character. It turned out to be roughly the same. When I first saw the script, I thought, oh, okay, he's much younger, Burton told Dagobah Dispatch. I should play him as a young and inexperienced man. I'm just training to be a Jedi one day, and wow, that would be awesome. Dooku's murder of Yaddle demonstrates how low Dooku has sunk. While the Senate's corruption may have sparked his descent, it does not excuse Dooku's actions following his defeat to the dark side. Based on Palpatine's orders, Dooku starts a galactic civil war that kills thousands, if not millions of people. While the Jedi Order needed to address the Senate's corruption more forcefully, Dooku's methods of combating it rivaled the evil he was fighting against, and ultimately led to his downfall. As the Confederacy's political leader, Dooku led the organization against the Republic in a conflict known as the Clone Wars. Dirge, the brutish Jedi bounty hunter, Asajj Ventress, Dooku's protege and Dark Jedi apprentice, General Severance Tan, Chiss Commander and Dark Acolyte, and General Grievous, the infamous Jedi-slaying Kaleesh cyborg, and droid leader, were recruited and trained to lead the Separatist droid army. The war culminated in a massive battle over the Republic capital of Coruscant, which Sidious orchestrated. Jedi Knight Anakin Skywalker defeated Dooku in a duel aboard the Separatist flagship Invisible Hand. Dooku was later betrayed by his Sith Master, Palpatine, who ordered Skywalker to kill him. Dooku was shocked to realize he had been a pawn of Sidious the entire time, but he remained silent as Skywalker executed the dismembered and helpless Dooku. He would be quickly replaced by Anakin Skywalker, the man who had killed him, who would soon succumb to the dark side and be transformed into the fearsome Darth Vader. Ark the Lad, a Reddit user, recently posted a lengthy theory about Count Dooku's plan, which quickly garnered over 2,000 upvotes on the Fan Theories subreddit. The theory is based on Dooku's strange encounter with Obi-Wan Kenobi in Attack of the Clones and the Jedi's description of him as an idealist. According to the theory, Count Dooku wanted to overthrow both the Republic and Palpatine to establish something far greater, an aristocratic utopia, with him at the helm, and of all people, Obi-Wan in his right hand. The theory explains Dooku's complex plan and how he hoped to win Obi-Wan's allegiance. That's all for today. We hope you found this video interesting, and if you did, please give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends and family.